speaking of instinct, is it possible to train instinct? And can we trust it wholly in fighting and in leadership?
Well, first of all, instinct is it's like a voice, and it's a voice that you can listen to, and it's a voice that you should listen to. And you have to get to know your instincts, right? You have to get to know them. You have to know how accurate they are and which ones you should listen to and which ones you shouldn't listen to. And it's real. Like with fighting, it's very obvious. With fighting, you train to a point that your instinct knows what to do. So if someone gets digging for an underhook on you, you swim to defend that underhook. If someone gets the underhook, boom, you put on the whizzer, right? Those are just instincts, and it's good. And it's good to have those instincts. It's perfect. Now, sometimes, even in fighting, your instincts are actually wrong. And I'll give you a very good example of this is rolling with a guy by the name of James Nielsen. Have you rolled with James before?
Many.
Okay, so James, black belt's been training forever. He's got a different jiu-jitsu, weird jitsu. It's weird. It's different. And the thing that you have to remember when you're rolling with James is that your instincts are likely wrong. It's crazy, but your instincts are likely wrong. And I know that's a blanket statement, and it's actually true. For instance, he wants you to pass guard and get across side. He wants you across side, which is crazy in jiu-jitsu. So your instinct to get past his guard and get across side and dig in deep with head control on him and having his arm, that's what he wants you to do, because he has a whole series of moves that he does from there. Now, much like we were talking earlier about a long, lanky guy that does moves that no one's used to, James does moves that people are not used to. And the moves that he does capitalize on your instinct.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when you trap his head from across side and you want to put your arm there and you put it there and that's your instinct, he wants you to put his arm there because he's going to get a hold of it, trap it, and he's got a sweep or an arm lock that he's going to set up from there. So that's the thing. You have to recognize, and you can't just blanket obey your instincts all the time, because sometimes your instincts are going to be wrong. That's the way it is. And it is definitely the same thing in leadership. And when using instincts in leadership, the first thing that you kind of have to do is you have to become aware of your instincts, and you have to pay attention to them and pay attention to what you're thinking and paying attention to what your instinct is and note your instinct, and then look at the post-mortem and see if your instinct was correct or incorrect. And then you've got to see how often you were right with your instinct and how often your instincts were wrong, or what your natural biases are. For instance, you got some people that are their instinct is too positive, right? Oh, we'll be able to get this done. Mm-hmm. And how often are you right about getting it done? And then you got some people that are too negative. Their instinct is too negative. Like, we'll never be able to get this done. We shouldn't even go. No, maybe you're wrong there. There's some people instinctively, they trust people too much. So they go, oh, Echo, I know he's going to handle it. I'm just going to give him the project and he's going to run with it. He's got it. And there's some people that instinctively don't trust enough. And they go, man, Echo's not going to be able to handle this. I got to micromanage him. And so those are examples of learning what your personal instinctive biases are so that you can calibrate them correctly. And that way you can adjust your biases and you can mitigate their impact and you can utilize them and give credence to them and understand them and utilize them to the best of your ability. And both leadership and fighting, both of them, as the more you do and the more you pay attention to your instincts, the better they're going to both become. Now, that being said, there's another kind of instinct that you need to be on the lookout for, and this one is a liar. This one is a saboteur, Well, this one is a backbiter. And like the devil himself, he's a shapeshifter. He's going to disguise himself and make you think he's got your best interest in mind. But he doesn't. This is the instinct that says, you've had enough. This is the instinct that says, you've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. This is the instinct that says, you can rest now. Do not listen to that instinct. Do not listen. That instinct is a liar and wants to bring you down. That's the instinct that's a defense mechanism. It wants to give you an out, a place to run to, a little place of sympathy, an amnesty, a little place of amnesty where everything is forgiven, where all these failures can gather together in comfort and drown their sorrows in lies and in deception. And they tell each other, and they'll tell you, you did the best you could. No, they'll say the deck was stacked against you. And they'll say it's not your fault. And they'll tell you it's okay to stop. It's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight. You need to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat, so that you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic, not on the instinct of surrender and defeat. And you need to train that instinct, your instinct. Train it to say, get up, go, fight on. And if that is what you become, if that becomes your fundamental reaction to adversity, if that becomes your gut instinct, then you will overcome just about anything that stands in your path. And I think that's about all I've got for tonight.